Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Siboga TV, which is the home of politics. What do you think President William Samoei Arap Ruto is up to? You have seen what he has done in the Baringo senatorial by-election by making sure that Gedion Moi does not go against the UDA member who is actually going for that senatorial position. And President William Samoei Arap Ruto has been able to convince Gedion Moi, who is the son of the late President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, and who is the former senator for Baringo. So which game is William Samoei Arap Ruto up to? That is actually what I want us to have a candid discussion this morning. We are going to dissect all that. What did Gedion Moi actually get by actually withdrawing from that senatorial race in Baringo? And what is the political interest of President William Samoei Arap Ruto? But before we dive in and try to dissect all that, I could like you to watch this video, and then after that, we are going to move and try to dissect about what were the interests of Gedion Moi, which President William Samoei Arap Ruto had to give info, and what is the political interest of President William Samoei Arap Ruto. Please listen to this video first.
KANU leader Gedion Moi's visit to State House on Thursday was his first since President William Ruto took office in September 2022.
God, we pray for your leader.
The unexpected visit marked the end of a long-running sibling rivalry between Gedion, the biological son of the late President Daniel Arap Moi, and William Ruto, widely viewed as Moi's political son. Following the meeting, Moi, who had been expected to contest the Baringo senatorial seat against a UDA candidate, not only dropped his bid, but also declared support for the ruling party's candidate.
My good brother.
And a day later, he invited President Ruto to address KANU delegates at his Kabarak home.
So, as my brother Kipsiele here, akitukaribisha hapa nyumbani, kama kitinda mimba wa mzee Moi, mimi pia kama kitinda mimba wa Moi wa siasa, mimi nawakaribisha nyumbani.
After listening to that, you can agree with me that President William Samoei Arap Ruto is a very cunning political leader, is a very shrewd political leader, is a person who knows how to go about what he needs. And it is now very clear that KANU is going to work with UDA as a political party. And there is a backing that Gedion Moi is actually going to support President William Samoei Arap Ruto. Let come 2027 presidential election. What is really happening? What did President William Samoei Arap Ruto ask to meet for Gedion Moi to accept that package? It is being said that soon we are going to have a cabinet reshuffle, and there are two positions which are going to be created. And those two positions, people are saying that we are going to have two deputy prime cabinet secretaries' throats. And one of the deputy cabinet secretary is actually going to go for Gedion Moi. And another one is actually going to be given to one person from the coastal province. And that is actually what William Samoei Arap Ruto wants to do. At the same time, it is actually being said that Gedion Moi also was promised to be given 5 principal secretary positions. And also, he was to be given 2 ambassadorial positions. And those positions, Gedion Moi could use those positions to appease the KANU followers. And it is now very clear that now Gedion Moi is supporting the government. And now it's also very clear that the Baringo senatorial position is actually going to go for the person who is going to stop at that using UDA party. And it is being said that the business interests of Gedion Moi and the Moi family in general are going to be safeguarded by the government of William Samoei Arap Ruto. So those are the things that were actually promised to Gedion Moi for him to accept to this deal with the president. And at the same time, what do you think made President William Samoei Arap Ruto to do all that? And what is he going to gain politically? I have told you now and again that William Samoei Arap Ruto is a political genius, is a professor in politics, the man who was taught by the late Moi, the man who was able to teach himself very well the politics of Mwai Kibaki, the politics of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And because of that, then we can say very clearly that this man called President William Samoei Arap Ruto is very smart in politics. And if we will create those 2 positions of deputy cabinet secretaries, it means that he is going to attract the entire Rift Valley. And also, he will attract the entire coastal province. And by now, you know, William Samoei Arap Ruto is also going to get votes from the entire Nyanza region, and more particularly, Luo Nyanza. And he has also dealt with the politics of the Western. And what does that mean? Is that William Samoei Arap Ruto is going to win late come 2027. Because if he will lock the votes of the Rift Valley, he locks the votes of the Luo Nyanza, he locks the votes of the Western, he locks the votes from the coastal province, and he also locks the forts from the entire northeastern, then it is going to be very easy for him to win 2027 presidential election. And as you know, President William Samoei Arap Ruto has always been accused that he went against the dynasty. That might be right, but that was because the dynasty never accepted him during the 2022 presidential election. And that is why the dynasty wanted to have Raila Amolo Odinga in the presidency position. And because he was a smart political leader, he did all he can to get that position. So in the actual sense, if by then the dynasty was to impress him, he was to be very quiet about the dynasty. But now, because he is a making of the dynasty, that is why now he is embracing the dynasty to himself, because he knows that the dynasty families, they actually are the arsenals of this economy. They are the arsenals of money, their wealth. And because he doesn't want the dynasty to go against himself, let come 2027. And that is why he has appeased himself with the dynasty. First, he went for Raila Amolo Odinga and told him, my brother, we have to work together. You have to assist me to take this government forward. And also he had went and amended his relationship with Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And now you saw what has happened. He has amended his relationship with the Moi family. And that means he is with the entire dynasty. And that means he will have the resources for campaigning. And as you know, Ruto knows very well that if the dynasty will go for the side of opposition and they will pour the money to the side of opposition, then Gedion William Samoei Arap Ruto cannot be able to deal with them, because he cannot have enough finances which actually can match what the dynasty has. And that is why now he has come to the table of the dynasty and he has appeased them. He has told them, we can work together. You know, I am your product. And because now the dynasty have come to that realization that this person, it is us who were going against him. Let us work together. So, William Samoei Ruto is a genius politician. And don't take William Samoei Arap Ruto for granted. William Samoei Arap Ruto is actually assembling a very huge machinery. And let come to 2027. If the opposition will still continue doing what they are doing, then the words of Francis Atwoli will come to pass. Because Francis Atwoli has actually told the public that you must be prepared for President William Samoei Arap Ruto to enter into his second term. So you must be ready that William Samoei Ruto will rule this nation for 10 good years. And another thing which I want to remind you, why probably Gedion Moi accepted to this deal. You may get that 2032, Gedion Moi will be elevated and he might go for presidency of this nation. You never know. The dynasty can do anything. They can go for a person who they know very clearly that he is going to preserve them. He is going to accept to their deals because that is what they have done. They have always kept the interest of each other safeguarded. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you have to say about Moi or Gedion Moi, William Samoei Arap Ruto deal? That now Gedion Moi is not going to go for Baringo senatorial election. And that means UDA is going to actually to win that senatorial position. And all those positions or by-elections which are going to be done across this nation, if you don't see it, or other political parties in the side of opposition are not going to be very categorical. They will be scooped by UDA as a political party, and that will create a picture that definitely President William Samoei Arap Ruto is going to win. What do you have to say or about what I have talked? Please drop your comment in the comment section below. And if this is your first time to pambu to this YouTube channel, I request you kindly that subscribe, hit the notification bell, give this video a like, share the video to your friends. And for those ones who have actually subscribed to this YouTube channel and they always keep watching our videos, I say thank you and may God bless you all abundantly. And with that, I say thank you until we meet in our next political discussion.